I haven't made a video in a really long time. I think the last time I made a video was almost a year ago. And it's pouring really hard right now. And I'm not even in my room at my house like I was in my other videos. I'm on the other side of the world right now, unfortunately, but that's besides the point. This is probably just gonna be another ramble, as I've always done in the past, and I'm just gonna speak on whatever comes to mind. I also have a lot of videos that I never released, but they're lost now. But at the same time, they're not lost. I know where they are. They're just scattered all over the place because of incidents that have happened since the last time I uploaded on YouTube. But what am I going to talk about today, you might be asking me. What should I talk about? Because I basically said most of what I already needed to be said about life, civilization, death, culture, societal norms, but mental illnesses. They're scattered all over the channel. It's just I ramble incoherently for so long that you probably can't find them because most people don't have the attention span to watch 30-minute videos of someone speaking incoherently and not structurally. But one thing I haven't talked about ever, maybe I should talk about women today. I'll be like Schopenhauer, I'll just dedicate an entire video log to women. Okay, I shouldn't make this quick, but I do have contempt for people in general, but I think I have contempt for females more than males because of the role that they play in life in general, and not even just in a cultural sense. I'm talking about in a biological sense. Them boasting themselves as being worthy because they're the quote creators of life, but I don't see that as a good thing. It's not a good thing. You're the creators of all suffering. It's not a good thing. And I hate moralizing it because you know how I feel about moralizers, but because as I've said before, suffering doesn't inherently matter. Nothing inherently does. Value itself is a delusion. So me placing value on suffering is pointless. But if we're looking at it in an analytical lens of what causes suffering, life is suffering, of course, but what creates suffering? Two people create suffering, but one does more work than the other, and by bearing just the whole process of pregnancy. I don't need to explain this, but women get more credit for creating life because they hold the baby for 9 months, and most of the actual creation happens inside the uterus. But this isn't something to be proud about. Life is just suffering is what is suffering? Suffering's at the core of life. It's the core of all life. It's not just that human suffering never ends. It's just suffering across all species never ends. I could die tomorrow, and life would still go on. People would still create more suffering by creating more children, and children will continue being indoctrinated to continue the cycle. And you're not progressing in anything. You're not regressing either. You're just staying in the same boat until life itself comes to an end. And that's just not. It's just. What would I even say to that? You're not progressing. You're not regressing. You never are. You're just staying in the same boat. You rape, You RAPE, you rape, you force a child into this world, you take them out of the default state of non-existence, you force them here against their will, then you impose suffering onto them, because life itself has, not even has, is suffering. It doesn't just have suffering, it is suffering. Suffering is the core building block of life. But even in a non-cultural or civilized sense, in a primitive sense, suffering is universal in life as well. So suffering is inherent in life, obviously. But then you add insult to injury, and then you're going to culturally condition them. You enculture them. So you're going to make them suffer even more, because you're going to indoctrinate them with goals, values, norms, things that they would want to not accomplish. What's the word I'm looking for? Thrive for. And whether they accomplish it or not doesn't matter. It's just because of the fact that, and I hate using the word now, but that a deprivation, unfortunately, and I know that word I don't like using that word anymore, but I'd rather use a different word. But deprivation, because what else are you going to call that? It's a lack of something. Because you gave the child or the person the idea that they were withheld happiness or anything for that matter. And now they're going to try to imperfectly resolve that feeling by trying to accomplish it. And it's just a never-ending cycle of which is perfectly describing what suffering is. I really hope you can hear me, because this rain is really loud. But because I know I kind of speak quietly too. But what else should I talk about? I'll say it again, probably for the last time, but mental illnesses, I'm not saying that they don't exist, like, well, a lot of them don't exist. I'll be very honest, they're just like cultural labels, but the ones that are linked to some form of neurochemistry, I'm not even going to deny that. It's just that mental illnesses, mental disorders, they're just placeholders to describe people who deviate from their society's norms. Just basically, you're deviating from society's values. You're exhibiting behaviors or thinking patterns that deviate from said norms. You're deviating from the system, the machine, and for that, they have to put a placeholder onto you. That's really it. There's nothing more to it than that. What else? Morality doesn't exist. That's pretty fucking obvious. Value is delusion. And yeah, I do have a lot of unreleased videos, but I can't just... I need to find them, but I don't know if I'll ever release them, to be honest. Who knows if I can release this one, but I'm just recording it just off the cuff. And I don't think I'm gonna make this that long of a video, because a lot of mine are already really long. Like, some was like 35 minutes. I had some that were breaking past 40 minutes, but I checked my channel and I didn't upload it, so I realized, oh, I recorded like a 40-minute video and I just never uploaded it. But yeah. What else is there to talk about? Life is rape, that's also obvious. I was gonna say something, but I think I forgot now. I don't want to end the video just yet. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. I don't know what else to say. basic. I've covered basically almost everything I've wanted to say. I mean, I remember I used to be an anarcho-primitivist for a short time because I thought that it would be possible to achieve some form of true inner peace or happiness or meaning if society could be eradicated. But I realized that it would be absolutely meaningless and it wouldn't do anything because suffering is still inherent in life, and you still go through the cycle I just described about, quote, deprivation or lacking something to achieve meaning or happiness, or any form of, or any existential feeling to relieve yourself of the thing that you lacked, or to just distract yourself from dying or killing yourself. And that's why I said anarcho-primitivism. I used to be one because I used to subscribe to the ideology because I thought it would actually do something, but it wouldn't do anything at all. And I realized that deep down I subscribed to the ideology because I thought I was I was hurt by what I perceived to be authority. And what I perceived to be authority was anybody who tried to not just boss me or dictate me, because that's what the typical definition of authority is, but tried to relay their own beliefs onto me. And I said before that what's the point of social media besides to not just stalk people, but also to relay their own values or beliefs onto each other, because that's what social media is. That's almost what communication itself is. I mean, think about language for a minute. What was language created for, other than to relay each other and spread and impose their own delusions onto each other? Values, beliefs, they're all delusions. They're all the same thing. They're all just delusions deep down at the heart, at the core. Because they're all subjective in nature. There is no base to any of it. And people have actually tricked themselves into believing that life is inherently valuable, which I've repeated a lot of times on the channel. It's nothing valuable about any of this. It's just all happened to be an accident. There's nothing special about it. How is life not great? You don't have a say in being born. You don't have a say in where you're born. You don't have a say in your genetics. You don't have a say in anything. And then, add insult to injury, you're going to be indoctrinated for your entire formative years to shape you into a cultural zombie, I guess. Not even just cultural zombie, just a zombie in general. It doesn't matter, because you're a zombie that's dictated by a set of beliefs, norms, values, delusions, whatever you want to call them. Just ideas that come from the human mind that are inherently flawed. That's all that they are. Oh, I think I know what I'm gonna make a video on. I mean, it's too late now because the video's already gone for too long, and I could go for so long about the topic I just thought of in my head. But I think that'll be good for like a next video. I don't know if that should be my last video, but it might be multiple parts anyway. But I guess that's it for the video, I guess.